Good afternoon. It's Thursday, and this week I've been spending some time reading through and reflecting on the journey of Jesus in Matthew's Gospel. As many of you have journeyed with Jesus this week, we remember that tomorrow, Good Friday, would be a day that we would normally gather in town, a day when we'd parade with somebody at the front with a cross, remembering that journey that Jesus made from being flogged to being nailed to a cross. Each year, for the last few years, I've had to take this cross here down to the Delph. It's a cross that one of our members made, and the last few years we've used it as part of a prayer reflection in the town. And it's not light. It's heavy, and it takes a bit of effort to walk through town with it. And as we reflect on that story of Jesus and his journey to the cross, we meet a man called Simon. We know that he was in Jerusalem on pilgrimage, probably from somewhere in North Africa. And as he arrives in Jerusalem, he's in the crowd as Jesus is led to be crucified. Criminals would normally carry the crossbeam of their cross, the bit that goes across the middle. But Jesus couldn't. If we look into Scripture, we can see that he was beaten and whipped, and we just need to use our imagination to understand why he couldn't carry it himself. Simon being drawn into this reminds us that this is not a private affair, but a public one. He's drawn into the very heart of the story as he is taken out of the crowd and is forced to carry the cross for Jesus. And Simon carries that cross, and he ends up putting it down for Jesus to be hung to. I wonder what he was thinking, whether he was considering his own personal pain, how much it had hurt him to carry that cross that day. Being drawn into the story, whether he stayed to witness what was happening to this man called Jesus, whether it raised a level of intrigue for him with questions like why, what's going on, why is this happening? He had a choice at that moment. He could go back and celebrate the Passover, enjoy the weekend and the festivities that were going on. Or he could look into things a little bit more and draw his own conclusion. This Friday we'd normally celebrate by walking across through town. A public witness saying that we follow Jesus, that the crucifixion is central to our faith. This year we can't do that. So I'd encourage you all, if you're able to place a cross of some description in your windows. Whether that be 2 pieces of wood that are nailed together and leant up against the window. Whether that be branches that you can find in your garden. Whether it simply be coloured in on pieces of paper. But this Friday, to put that in a place that's visible so people can say and see that we still remember what happened that Good Friday. Perhaps you're like Simon. Perhaps you're looking in at the story going, well, I don't really know about this guy called Jesus, and I want to know more. I'd encourage you, if you want to put a cross in your window, please do, and perhaps pick up Matthew's Gospel and start to read it. And as you do, you'll start to learn more about this person called Jesus. You know, that day Simon helped Jesus to bear his load. He carried his cross for him. In the situation we're in at the moment, I wonder, how can we help to bear each other's loads? How can we carry each other's crosses so that the load that we're bearing at this time doesn't get too much? God bless and goodbye.